Hello folks, well, MI5, MI5, they reckon there could be a summer of discontent, you see, and they reckon there's some people out there, one or two people, what might be able to stir the rabble up, you see, and they reckon that there might be some middle class people who will go out on the streets, because for some reason they might be a little tiny bit upset because they're in a deep financial doo-doo, basically, so they reckon there might not be enough place to deal with it, so they probably have to call the army in. I thought, hold on, this sounds a bit familiar, this does, because after the Battle of Waterloo and after the Napoleonic Wars, of course, the old government had been borrowing a bit, so of course they pumped a lot of money into the economy through the borrowing to pay for all the war stuff, see. So then they tries to clear the national debt a bit by paying back the banksters. Well, they're not just paying back the money they borrowed, because they've got to pay back the interest as well. So they're sucking even more money out of the economy. So of course there's more people, because you've got the people that have been fighting for the king and country that have come back. They're looking for work. There's people that have got work but ain't got no money to pay anybody, but they've got things to sell but nobody's got any money to buy it. So basically it's not a shortage of anything apart from money, because of all this money being sucked out of the system. So up in Manchester there's some people, much like those people that MI5 have identified, that was a little bit having a bit of a think, and they thought, oh, well, let's have a peaceful gathering, and we'll get some speakers. They were going to be the sort of like the speakers and talk to the people, you see, because they got one or two ideas. Well, the authorities get wind of this, you see. I mean, crumbs, can't have people exercising right to freedom of speech, whatever next. God, dear oh dear, they think they're living in a free country. God, dear oh dear. Anyway, so what happens? Well, the reason that it became known as Peterloo is because the military were sent in, and it ended up as a massacre, because they was trying to get them people what were speaking, because I mean them people that were speaking, oh, terrible people they were. They coming up with ideas that can't have that, can we? Oh dear, no, can't have that. God. And it's the same, innit? You got the people, basically them people, just the same as the people now, were the victims of the dodgy financial dealings, i.e. where they create money out of nothing and then charge interest on it, which inflates the money supply at one stage and then totally deflates it mega style at the other end. And so who's the government protecting? Are the government going after the banksters who've caused all the problems? No. The banksters get government bailouts, don't they? They get if the banksters mess up, that they get. I mean, they get money from the government. They get their bonuses. They have their nice parties. They have their nice pensions. And of course, the government does do something. It says, "Are you going to take all that pension?" As though that's really, whether the matey took all the pension or not all the pension, it ain't going to make a lot of odds to the luckless souls who are in a deep financial doo-doo, is it? I mean, if in a way, if he does take all his pension, at least he can spend some of it, and that might help some of them luckless souls. If he don't take all of his pension, who's that going to help then? Oh. Anyway, so, and then the 1 minute people say, oh yeah, but you can't blame the government for the financial situation because it's a global crisis. Yeah, so alright, so it's a global crisis, so it's global finance that's causing the problem. So hold on, what are they saying's the solution? Right, it's because we've got all our eggs in one basket that we've got a problem. Is that what you're saying, basically? So what's the solution? Oh, well, we'll have a new global world order. Yeah, global world financial order. Well, hold on, it's the global financial order that's caused the first place, and the scam where they create money out of thin air and charge interest on it. And they say, oh yeah, but you see, if we have this, then that'll get people be able to start people and industry start borrowing again. Well, hold on a minute. Start borrowing again? Is that the only thing we can do then? If we need some money, we've got to borrow it. Shouldn't there be money created interest-free that we can use? The only way we're going to get some money is if we go and borrow it, which makes us all complete debt slaves. I mean, and people say, yeah, but how else are you going to get the money? What is it? Excuse me, going back to the Napoleonic Wars, where the government borrowed money in order to fund the wars, and people say, yeah, well, what else could they do? Well, there was a bloke called Abraham Lincoln, and he had a water fight, and he went on to the bankers, and he said, here, I need a bit of money. And they said, oh, you can have some, 20 to 30% interest rate, or thereabouts. He said, what, you're having a laugh, ain't you? So he went off to one of his mates, and he, general, I think it was general, it was colonel, something like that, it was a military sort, anyway. So he has a word with him, and he says, what, you're going to give him a bit of paper that says you're good for that money, doesn't it? He says, yeah. He says, well, if that bit of paper says you're good for that money, why can't you use that bit of paper as a government to create your own money interest-free? He says, oh, well, that's a good idea. So that's how the greenback came into it. That might not be a perfect system, and I think he might have upset the old banksters. And then there was that Andrew Jackson. He had the number of them banks. I don't think they liked him. He was a good politician. He stood up to them banksters. He said no. That's right. He said no. Not like the politicians we got these days. Oh, you want some more money, do you, Mr. Banksters? Oh, yes. How much do you want? Yes. Yes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it can be done. The government can create money, and you might say, yeah, but there you rampant inflation. No. And the government spends the money into circulation. Firstly, the government won't need to tax us as much because they won't have so much money to pay in interest on borrowing, right? So the banksters will lose out. Oh, that's perhaps not such a good system then, is it? I can see if I was a bankster I might not like this. Hold on. The people would have more money in circulation that didn't never need to be paid back to anybody because it was created debt free. Yeah, so there'd always be this money supply that was in circulation. So when people put that money into the bank to save it, right, if you had it such that the banks were only allowed to lend out money that they got, if a mate of mine comes along and says, here Dave, can I borrow a tenner? If I ain't got a tenner, I can't lend it, can I? Well, if the banks worked on the same system, and you say, but how the bank's going to make any money? Well, they can either charge interest if you're prepared to allow them to lend your money out to other people, or if you say, no, I just want my money stay there, I'll pay you a little bit just for keeping it safe. So they make a little bit of money, not a lot. So maybe the banksters won't make a lot of money out of this, will they? and they won't be getting so many people's assets, because most people won't be, well, fewer people will default on their loans, will they? Because there won't be so many people needing to borrow money, will there? Because there'll be more money in the system. Yeah. Oh, maybe we'll forget this, because this will upset the banksters. Yeah. Alright, carry on being debt slaves. Don't protest. Your government knows best. Yeah. Let them carry on working for the banksters. And, okay. I'm being a bit satirical there. Well, I better not go on. Yeah, the video will be too long otherwise. Cheers for now. I might do a part 2 on this one.